All to say that basically we held off on a lot of things that I think were worthy of criticism just because we didn't, because of my past personal relationships. And I would say Anna was a friend to me. I truly loved her as a friend, and I told her that. So it's very sad. But the reality is that my principles in this business about calling out people who are doing the why I left the left shtick to appeal to the right outweighs any personal relationships I'm going to make in this space. So
what's happening, everybody? Today we have a clip of Ana Kasparian of the Young Turks being disparaged by Emma Vigeland of the Majority Report. Emma Vigeland reacts to and takes issue with Ana Kasparian's recent interviews with what she considers to be right-wing shows like Glenn Beck and Piers Morgan. That said, let's watch Emma Vigeland tell us why she's cutting off her relationship with ex-best friend Ana Kasparian. Let's go. Say that basically we held off on a lot of things that I think were worthy of criticism just because we didn't, because of my past personal relationships. And I would say Anna was a friend to me. I truly loved her as a friend, and I told her that. So it's very sad. But the reality is that my principles in this business about calling out people who are doing the why I left the left shtick to appeal to the right outweighs any personal relationships I'm going to make in this space. So with that said, since this audience is so interested in Dave Rubin and how much we ruthlessly mocked his arc of leaving the left from TYT, which Anna...
with Anna in the chair you're sitting in now at one point on the Michael Brooks show.
Laughing about it. I laughed about it with her. She laughed about it on air. We mocked this a lot. And in fact, Piers Morgan will play some of that mockery as well. Just to clarify things for folks, this is her explanation for her recent pivot.
But what people have said is they said you were quite outspoken. I'll play it to you. This is what you said when Dave Rubin pivoted. Let's have a look.
There has been this prevalence of prominent figures who identify as the left, right, or on the left, who then later start to, cozy up to right-wing figures, and then it turns out that they completely move to the right wing because they're essentially paid to do it. They're used as tools by the right wing to essentially spew right-wing talking points while purporting to still be on the left. In fact, Dave Rubin's a great example of that. Dave Rubin used to work with us. He identified as someone on the left.
Dave,
yeah, go ahead.
Forgive me, Anna. Dave Rubin made a video for PragerU, Why I Left the Left.
Oh, I know.
He does not, in fact, state to the world that he's still on the left. I don't know who you have in mind, so I can only address the one name that you gave.
So, I mean, have you pulled a Rubin, as some people suggest?
I mean, I'm still pretty left-wing, and I'm still working at the exact same place. Look, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about Dave Rubin, but I just felt that he, first of all, after he left TYT, he did lie about us, and that bothered me because we were still friends, and I didn't understand what was going on. So I was discombobulated about what was happening with Dave after he left TYT. He did leave on good terms, so it was weird. And, he kept saying that he was this classical liberal, but had trouble defining what that meant and had trouble reinforcing or at least backing up some of the claims that he was making about, his newfound identity. So, look, live and let live. Dave is doing his thing. I did feel that his pivot was strange, but maybe it was sincere. Who knows?
Well, it's interesting. Somebody accused me of being
a phone hacking liar per a court in the UK, which said that, oh yeah, Piers Morgan.
I'm just going to ask the question that I know is on all of your minds right now. What do you think the testosterone level is of that guy that she's talking to? I've never seen him before. I don't know a lot about him, but just as I gave him an ocular pat down, if you know, you know, I'm setting the over under at 200 nanograms per deciliter. So let me know in the comments if you want any action on the over or under, and we'll get a betting pool going here. I've mentioned a couple times that the fact that I now sometimes agree with Ana Kasparian, and that I find that she's a little more authentic these days, willing to admit she's made mistakes, willing to admit she was wrong, even apologize when necessary. That video, that clip of her there, where she was just so nasty about Dave Rubin, that like gives me shivers, because it's like not the Ana Kasparian I know now. But Emma Vigeland misses that Anna, the angry Anna, the one that held grudges against people. She doesn't like the friendly, authentic, forgiving Anna that we're seeing now. So they were best friends at one point, and now she's not going to be friends with her anymore. So this person was one of your best friends, and you're able to overlook all the good qualities that made them your best friend because you disagree with them on some political issues. Some. By the way, Ana Kasparian ain't coming over to the right anytime soon. She's still a leftist. This is the kind of friend you don't need in your life, and you thank the sweet Lord that he got her out of your life. You know, Emma, and I'm just spitballing here, I think you could actually criticize her and still be friends. Maybe just criticize her without being nasty and attacking her personally. You can criticize her position on things and still be friends. Anyway, Emma Vigeland's awful. Let's get back to the video.
Saying he didn't know about all the journalists that worked under him, hacking into people's voicemails for information that they could put into stories. Yeah, people say things about peers too. Oh, great company Anna's keeping lately.
Well, I mean, she's hanging out with Glenn Beck. She's hanging out with Piers Morgan and other right-wingers and doing a lot of interviews. It is interesting, though, that, Jank's going on PBD and all that kind of thing. It is interesting that still no response to Sam Seder's both private request to have a conversation about this on the air on either TYT or on the Majority Report. If they feel more comfortable with it being on their platform, they can do that there. So Sam asked that of Jank in the summer, and then publicly, I guess 2 weeks or so, basically said we can talk about this in a conversation. No response, but very eager to go to Glenn Beck's studio and have a conversation themselves. So
They are taking the what they have been credited for through years of good work with a lot of good people. They are packaging up that for the marketplace and advertising it through picking a lot of fights. They've been doing this for a long time. We, 2 years ago, put a video up. The original title of that video was Ana Kasparian is not transphobic, where we tried to talk about the birthing person bullshit in a way that was constructive and could kind of maybe lead in a proper direction. She didn't listen to any of that, and instead got mad that somebody said that we were treating her with kid gloves. Because the truth was, we have been. For my entire career here at Majority Report, it has been a tongue-holding exercise for like Wolfpack, fucking harebrained. How many packs are we going to start to get money in the money out of politics? We have been.
How about one that pays Brianna Wu 5 figures for
to
doing
deny a genocide
to post on Twitter?
If you think we're mean, you need to understand that actually that has been charitable. So
it has been based on what I have asked for, really, in part because of and because of my personal feelings about the situation and because of how sad it made me. I'm not somebody. Trust me, you can ask my exes. I didn't break up with a lot of people. I stayed in way too many relationships for way too long because I tried to make things work for quite a while. That's not what happened here. So for
just like Emma has to call people out, you know, it's her obligation. I have to call her out, unfortunately. You see, we're starting with the lies already. She talked about her exes. Emma, you don't have any exes. No one would date you. Stop that. And then both of them talk about how they defended Ana Kasparian because, I don't know if you remember the story, she said on Twitter that she's sick of people saying birthing person instead of woman. One of the most just logical, basic statements to make. It's a stupid thing to call people. Women can have babies. That's it, right? They act like they went way out of their way to defend her on that. That's what losers these guys, to have a constructive conversation about that. The fact that they feel like they were really sacrificing their own beliefs to defend her over that shows you where they're at politically. They have fallen off the edge of the left. And something really bothers me about this guy in the corner. He's like, if you thought we weren't mean before, girlfriend, just wait now. I've been holding my tongue. What are you going to do to be mean? Be catty, girlfriend? Like, what's this guy going to do? Make jokes? All right. And then they're shocked that Ana doesn't want to come in for an interview with friggin' Sam Seder, a dude who's literally known as being a grifter and creating unnecessary drama, while you have Emma the Nightmare over here saying she's not her best friend anymore. Why would you come into an interview where you're going to get attacked? And then, as always, they use their words in a certain way. She's hanging out with Glenn Beck and Piers Morgan. What's wrong with that? It sounds to me just like sour grapes that Ana doesn't want to just come in there and get attacked by these losers that are just so grumpy and angry all the time. And forget Ana, who on earth would want to be interviewed by Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland and the little girl in the bottom right-hand corner? Sam and Emma have a very, very high opinion of themselves that is completely unwarranted. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
For us, I have plenty of wonderful friends in my personal life. I know you do as well, Matt. I don't need to put my personal relationships ahead of my professional integrity.
It's kind of inappropriate to do so.
Even though in terms of like closeness, there are very few people in this field that I felt as close to as her. And at one point I would say she was my best friend in this industry. But I have to, cut bait at this point because she also made an accusation that I heard that I called her sexual assault titillating, which if I were to be charitable, I'd say she was listening to one of those like stupid crime right-wing podcasts that she seems to be a fan of these days, and they cut it up in a way that was misleading, or she's just lying about me, because I would never, ever, ever do that. My case has always been that like some of these tough on crime narratives, specifically when a white woman is the subject of harm, are titillating to some people on the right who like to imagine themselves as white knights saving white women from the hordes of black poor people and unhoused folks in this city.
And again, you're being very kind, because we all know, as part of this business, why Steven Crowder starts his show with videos of young black teenagers assaulting elderly women, right? Like, we know what this is. And to say that actually what is being titillating is the act caught itself, and not what this sort of poverty porn and violence porn is doing politically, you are fucking stupid. And you should not be in this business if you cannot take that for what it is. That you are stoking crime narratives, and people should watch the Jose Not a J video of TYT pushing Beverly. If you could maybe pull that up, I want to put it on screen. They keep trying to distract from the real issues and are making
the fact that this dumbass show had to turn a vile attack on Ana Kasparian into a story or some commentary about society, instead of responding like every normal person on the planet who would just respond with empathy. It shows you how these guys operate. The douche on the right, and by the way, his name's Matt, so I'm going to officially change my name soon. Good Lord. But the dude in the right-hand corner said that they're pushing a crime narrative. Hey, dumbass, we don't have to push a crime narrative. There's plenty out there. What are you talking about? You nerd. Yeah, this broad Emma has two gears, boring and bitch. And we've seen them both in this, mostly boring in this one. So what do you guys think? Do you think Ana should go on this show? Or should she just avoid the viper pit because she doesn't need that headache? I know where I stand. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like watching videos of deranged leftists just express all their delusions about the right wing, then click on one of the two videos that just popped up on your screen. Otherwise, as always, it means more than you'll ever know that you took the time out of your day to watch. I really appreciate it. The end.